rights here in Morocco. But I would say that the situation, I mean, the status of women in Morocco has tremendously changed in recent years. Yeah, it's total. I mean, it's just like usually different from like how it was in the past. Yeah, now women can do like can study abroad. I mean, can wear whatever they want, veil or without veil, no problem. In the past, most of them were veiled. I mean, it's not up to them, but it's up to their parents. Now, like, you can see women in the parliament voicing their opinions. You can see women like doctors. You can see women engineers, was really impossible in the past.
يعني بالنسبة للمرأة أنا كنقول بلي خص تكون فيها العفة، يعني العفة يعني تحترم نفسها تحترم ذاتها وهكذا غيحترموها حتى الناس. وبالنسبة للرجل كنظن خص يكون عنده غض البصر، يعني بالانجلي نقدر نقول لك turning applied eye.
Dans notre culture, la femme marocaine a hyper changé. Elle a pris une culture qui n'est pas la mienne. Il a commencé à prendre des trucs qui n'ont même pas des femmes étrangères. Alors, ils veulent faire plus de choses qui ont des droits, par exemple. Mais en fait, notre culture, c'est pas ça. Notre culture, c'est la femme qui a produit des enfants, qui ont fait beaucoup de choses, des docteurs, des infirmiers, plusieurs personnes qui ont mis quelque chose dans ce pays, dans des femmes qui ne demandaient pas gros choses.
Being a man is being the decision maker of the family. Whether you're in a house full of women, older and younger, you always have to run by, you know, the father figure of the house, be it like the father himself or like an older brother if like the father is not at home or like deceased.
Les femmes ici, comme ils ont des avantages, ils ont des difficultés ici, par exemple. Les avantages, par exemple, ils sont cherchés par tout le monde, par exemple, les enfants les cherchent, parfois ils trouvent des opportunités de travail plus que les hommes, c'est ça, mais quand même, ils ont beaucoup de difficultés à s'intégrer et à se sentir en sécurité, surtout.
Status here in Morocco, I mean, yeah, it has changed, but in the past, most women here in Morocco were kind of, I would say, oppressed, especially the period of time when Morocco was colonized by the French. I mean, I've read a book of a famous Moroccan writer. Her name was Leila Abu Zaid. She has The Year of the Elephant.
Yeah.
She was, she wrote about women and how the way women were treated in that period of time when Morocco was colonized by the French. And from the novel, you can conclude that women were kind of neglected, they were marginalized. It was not easy for them. Yeah, there is a change, especially after 2004. The family code. So many things have changed here in Morocco. I mean, most women were given some of the rights that they didn't have before.
Pour moi, les femmes doivent être respectueuses pour avoir le respect des autres, surtout par exemple comme je vois des femmes mal habillées qui se comportent d'une manière impolie, et ça, il attire l'attention des gens. C'est pour ça, pour avoir le respect des autres, il faut que tu sois respectueuse.
I would say the center of the family, someone who's very strong as well. When you're a kid, you'll be naive and you think that person maybe is weak because she has to deal with all the stuff, but like as you grow and you start understand all that's happening with the cultural dynamics, with women's rights, I would say as well, you start to understand that it's actually a strength, it's not really a weakness.
The good thing about the feminist movement is that it has currently the support of the public authorities. So it is, in a sense, it has this kind of, shall we say, sort of tacit or overt support for feminist ideas and the idea of gender equality. So this is a good thing. In practice, I think things are lagging a little behind because there are, conservative sort of sectors, conservative members in society who are basically sort of trying to slow down the change or block the change and so on. So I think it is an ongoing struggle, but it seems to me that generally speaking, there has been some progress. And obviously there is more to be done in this area, but I think it helps that officially things are, there are some symbolic things that are put in place. For example, having female police officers, for having sort of the female tram drivers, these sort of there are symbolic things, but at the same time, this is how societies change. When symbolically you create this sort of momentum where people get used to the idea that women can do the same jobs as men and so on, that is how things begin to change.
I think foreign women are more open and they think more open than Moroccan ladies. And I actually like that, and they changed my mind a lot since I have American friends.
They are free, they can do everything they want, they don't have a problem with their parents, if also they can travel alone if they want, some stuff like that.
يعني الفكرة اللي كتطغى أكثر أنه كيكونوا هما عندهم واحد الاستقلالية يعني مستقلين بذاتهم أكثر من النساء العربيات بصراحة.
For women, like the first thing is like the quick visa, because we were always like thinking that, and also we have seen that a lot of foreign women like came to Morocco and gets married with a guy, and they he get like a better future and maybe a fancy life, and like it's easy for him to get the visa for the foreign countries.
About foreign women, they're just they can do anything they want.
Because here in Morocco, like, yeah, we are free, we have freedom, but we are like still rested with our like community rules and our like religion rules, structures, so like that. And I see that like American women is more open, and they have freedom more because they are like free from rules, structures, and all these things.
There are some people who think that harassment, they consider harassment. For example, if a girl is walking down the street and you start looking at her or staring at her, probably she feels like uncomfortable. That's kind of harassment. I mean, if she's just like walking and then you start like couch calling, that's harassment. And also, so there is like violence. Sometimes you just go and touch the girl, or just like push her or something. That's kind of harassment as well. So for me, I mean, a girl is free to wear whatever she wants, and she can have her freedom in the street. So, boy, I don't think that they should do that.
I mean, yeah, we're not angels, but of course, when you see a girl on the street, I mean, you sometimes feel like, oh my God, I think that I like that girl, but she looks beautiful or something, but it's not to the point that you're gonna go and harass her, because for me, I feel like it's uncivilized to do that.
There are some girls who really like to be harassed.
Yeah.
Really like to receive compliments, or sometimes to be like followed.
Comme tout le monde, il y a hyper longtemps que je le faisais. Et en fait, on fait tous des erreurs. Dans une période, oui, je le faisais, mais plus maintenant.
I have never tried to. But sometimes you are doing things without like intention. Maybe like it seems like harassment. Like sometimes you're just like passing by and you are like seeing a girl which is like interests you, and you like start like just like gazing at her, and maybe this is like harassment for her and you don't think so. That's it is.
She walks down streets in the middle of the night, and you know that there's a lot of kinds of people that's not normal as used to be. They drink, they stop, they rubber, they just want to get something to live.
انا بصراحه ما كنشوف حتى حاله، يعني كنشوف التحرش عنده اسباب، يعني ما خصش يكون التحرش وصافي. ولكن كاين اللي كيقول باللي البنت اللي ما كتكونش لابسه مزيان او لا معريه، يعني لباس مثير، تستحق انها تتحرش بها. ولكن انا كنظن هي حره في راسها، وانت ما خصكش تحرش بها وصافي، ما كاين حتى حاجه، يعني لا.
There is girls or women, you know, they wear sexy clothes and they go out with a lot of makeup and they look at the boys, so that's why I made him see towards them. So there is, yeah.
Of course you feel sad, you feel that you are not equal to men, you feel that you sometimes when you want to go to some places you need a man to go with. For example, if you want to do some specific things, especially if, for example, you want something, you want just to walk during the night, because you know that the weather during the night is more beautiful, and you want, but you don't have the right to do it.
انا كبنت كنحشم علاش، حيت كيكونوا شي بنات كيدفعوا هاد الرجال ولا هاد الولاد للتحرش بهم، كيلبسوا شي سانكلوت كيكونوا ضيقين عليهم، يعني كيكونوا كيدفعوهم يعني الدراري راهما حيوانات ويلي كيكونوا الدراري، يعني هما بشر، هما انسان عندهم واحد الغريزه كتحرك فيهم فاش كيشوفوا هاد البنت لابسه واحد دي حاجه طبيعيه، يعني انا كنتفهمهم. ولكن الا كان واحد الانسان متشبت بالنوع من الايمان، وحنا في الاسلام ديالنا كيقولوا وجوب غض البصر، الا كنا كنغضوا البصر ديالنا عمر ما غادي يكون تحرش.
We have the right to do whatever we want. I know like men in Morocco think, like when you talk to them about harassment, they say, well, I can't stop myself when I see a woman wearing really tight jeans or like wearing mini skirt, but like men can wear whatever they want and they never get harassed.
The idea is really a kind of almost a sort of, you know, territorial, making it very clear to women that they're not welcome in certain places and in public space especially, because it seems to me that, you know, there is no gain apart from the one of telling women you are not welcome, or this is not your space, you should not be in public space. And it's, you know, this is, I see it like that. And I also see it, I mean, in a sense, ironically, it's probably a way of, it's because women are beginning to sort of, you know, conquer, or to sort of, you know, to use one of Fatima Mernis's word, to trespass into traditional male space, that there is this kind of resistance.
My first time كنتذكر واحد I remember when I was in Medina. By the way, Medina, you know, it's very basic. كيوقعوا شي تلامسات ما بقاش فقط بالكلام، وانا كنت باقا صغيره، راه كانت عندي ديك الساعه شي 14 عام، ما غنقدرش نقول بيان سور، ما نقدرش نقول اكثر من هكا باسكو سي ان انترفيو غادي يشوفوه الناس. مي كانت ملامسات باليد، لان وخفت بزاف بما انني كنت صغيره، ما فهمتش شنو واقع ليا. وكان راجل كبير، يعني راجل كبر من بابا الله يرحمه دابا، كان كبر منه بزاف، وقاسني، يعني قاسني في، يعني فريمون في شي بلايص ما خصهمش يتقاسوا نورمالمون. وانا حشمت، قلتها لماما، قلت لها ماما ها شنو واقع ليا، انا ماكش فاهمه ديك الساعه اشنو هو حتى معنى التحرش وشنو هو، يعني ما فهمتش ديك
I was walking with my friend and there is a boy, I don't know, I think he's homeless, and he touched my hand and told me I want you to talk to me. I told him get away from me, and he said no, I want you, so you have to talk with me. So I was crying and I let him, give me alone, I want to go.
When I was 11 years old, once I tried to go to the Hanout at like 8 p.m. and one guy was walking right in front of me, and I felt, and the street was like so empty, and I felt if I didn't run straight to the Hanout and like just hide in his Hanout, he would definitely like grab me or rape me.
Zero respect. That would be the short answer. I have no respect whatsoever. I feel like if you think you're man enough to just go and invade someone's space and tell them something, or just give them like an awkward stare, you should be man enough if you like someone to just approach them directly and introduce yourself in a nice manner.
الأكبر الحاجة اللي تعلمت أكبر واحد القدوة ديالي هو الرسول، لأن الرسول كان كيوصي باحترام المرأة وفحال هكذا. يعني بواحد الحديث كان قالوا الرسول باللي وما أكرمهن إلا كريم وما أهانهن إلا لئيم. يعني اللي كيكرم المرأة هو كريم، يعني اللي كيحترمها فحال هكذا. يعني تعلمت انايا العلاقة بين الرجل والمرأة كيفاش خصها تكون، تعلمتها من الرسول أكثر واحد.
For men, I think that the perfect age for marriage would be 27 or 28. I mean, it was the same thing we said, right? That's because the age of 28, men would start being, just like I said before, financially autonomous, and they would be able to provide, have a family. You know, when you get married, of course, you're going to have a family. Chances are you're going to get kids after 1 year or 2 years after marriage. So you need to have, you know, some kind of financial independence. So 27, 28 would be the perfect age for females. For girls, I don't know, probably. Same thing, 26, 27, if she wants to have a job, and I don't know, she probably got certain plans for herself, so 26, 27, perfect ages for both, you know, for both of them, men or women,
So,
it doesn't really matter.
and also I think that young men, I mean men in general, prefers like young girls. I mean, if the girl is like in her 30s or something, so she's like getting like less likely to get married. I mean, according to the culture.
As I say, woman after she study, she put her study first, before she gets married.
Actually, I think I like to the man be older than the girl, yeah, and I don't know a specific age. I don't know.
كاين اللي كيبغي قبل صغير داكشي، انا تنقول لا، يعني بعد 20، يعني بعد 20 تفكر، يعني بعد ما تكمل قرايتها.
What age can you date? I wouldn't set a date. I mean, as early as you feel like you're starting to ask those questions and try to know more about yourself as a young woman, as a young boy, or whoever you are.
The first thing is like the first smile. Whenever you're like passing by, maybe like you gets like interested in a girl, just like sitting beside, and maybe you can just like keep looking at her, and maybe if she's like starts smiling, that means that you can go like on for the conversation, or maybe just.
يعتبرونا كخواتاتهم، لانني انا متاكده بلي هاد الرجال عندهم حتى هما خواتاتهم. ما غاديش يبغيو شي حاجه تقيس خواتاتهم. احنا في مجتمع اللي كيقولوا المسلمون، يعني كنقولوا بلي احنا خوت في الاسلام. يعني ان الراجل اذا شافني مثلا تعرضت للتحرش، تجيه واحد الغيره انه يجي عند هذاك الرجل ويقول له عافاك، احترم هاد البنت، راه حتى انت عندك اختك ما تبغيش اللي يقيسها. يعني وهكا كل واحد كيوعي واحد، كل واحد يوعي واحد. انا متاكده بلي التحرش عمره ما غادي يبقى، وغنكونوا وصلنا لواحد الرقي في عقل ديالنا اللي غنكونوا يعني نكونوا من ضمن المجتمعات اللي راقيه في عقولهم. يعني حنا خصنا نكونوا بعدا يعني يكون واحد التوعيه اللي ديجا دارت ولكن عمرها ما طبقات. كنتمنى نوصلوا لهذا النوع وهذا المستوى من الرقي.
Morocco, one of the countries that have a very strong feminist movement. Yeah, so if you want to, for example, to count the changes, so that they are enormous, comparable to the other countries in the Middle East and North Africa. So there is always changes, because we cannot, for example, talk about a law of preventing sexual harassment if we don't have that strong movement. So there is, for sure there is changes, but we need to work more.
I think the first objective is to sort of achieve gender equality between men and women. There is kind of a long tradition of seeing gender equality as based on complementarity, and I think the feminists, the so-called secular feminists, campaign for gender equality rather than complementarity between the two sort of genders or the two sexes. It has also to do with some of the sort of big issues related to inheritance law, to the sort of gender gap in pay between men and women. And I think there are also issues such as sort of sexual harassment of women. These are things that are coming up now in the debate around, you know, how to achieve and how to go about, you know, achieving gender equality in this country.
I'm interested mainly to the issue of gender equality, human rights, and its globality, and we are more focusing on fighting discrimination, gender equality, human rights. I'm working with the mediator for democracy and human rights.
Sometimes you can say that some people would, in order to give cover to this patriarchal system, use religion, because it's more difficult to argue with sort of religion than it is to argue with something that is perceived to be man-made.